What's up, Justin?
Hey, buddy. You playing me some guitar? That's exactly what you're doing. Hello, ladies and gentlemen who happen to be watching us on this lovely September Thursday evening. My name is Justin Thomas James, and I'm here with my other host, Jeff Hayes, who happens to be playing the guitar and doing a lovely job with those very nice, smooth, sultry strums. Let's hear some. That nice dominant chord right there. I hope that you are having a fantastic evening. I hope that you are feeling strong and warm and loved. And I'm sending you my love right now. And you better believe Jeff is sending it through the strings that are vibrating on his musical instrument there. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is Soundbooth Theater Live, and we have a wonderful show for you today. We've got some games. We got some stories. We got some interviews, and we got some reviews. Almost sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. Almost. I'm not Dr. Seuss. But
Nor am I.
Well, that's good, I suppose.
I kind of look like maybe what he would look like if he were my age right now, though. I got this goofy tiger shirt on, and I got a goofy yellow, what are they called?
A beanie?
It's a beanie, but it's like one of the super long ones, you know?
Yeah.
Like if I had dreads, they'd be filling this up.
Right. You got to get some dreads, I guess.
And I think Dr. Seuss would wear dreads if he were my age.
Nowadays, do you think that Dr. Seuss rhymed in real life? Do you think he was just kind of
100%?
Do you think that was annoying to most people around him?
Probably, but I think it was probably like some kind of condition, like some kind of mental condition that
he just rhymes,
couldn't not do it. Yeah.
When he's having arguments, deep arguments with his wife.
Yeah.
I did not sleep with that woman. I did not bleepity bloobin. It's funny. It's Dr. Seuss. I could just say whatever the hell I want.
Yeah.
I don't have to be actually good.
Make it all up. I did not touch those sneeches.
But I might have touched them beaches.
Oh, yeah. We went over this today. We weren't supposed to be talking about molestation in any form. Right. Sorry, guys.
What?
Sorry.
Beaches.
Didn't mean to.
Beaches. Where's the beach?
Yeah.
The beach is that way.
Yeah.
Oh, it's over there. Yeah. So what do we got? What do we got to talk about today? We've got some news.
We do have some news. Save Point 2 has finally been submitted to ACX. Oh my god, we took so long on it, and it's finally out. I'm really excited for that. I mean, it should be. I think we submitted it last week, so it should be hitting the store any day now.
Very soon. Very soon.
So, for any of you who were jonesing for the second installment of Matthew Siege's series, it is on its way. Anytime. It could be later today. It could be 5 minutes from now. Who knows?
It could be right
ACX
now.
is mysterious in their operations.
Yes, they are.
And also we have a new article going up on the website, www.soundbooththeater.com. Mr. Prax Venter wrote something very interesting for you guys to peruse through.
Yeah, why don't you guys check it out? I'm not even going to tell you anything about it. You check it out. You go to the website, you find
no spoilers.
You read it. And but I will say that speaking of Prax Venter, we have Irrelevant Jack 3 in the very final stages of production. Prax has listened to it. He loves it. He's very happy with it. We got a couple little corrections to make, and then boom, it's uploaded to ACX and gonna get to your ears as soon as possible.
Did he do any more voices for this one?
No, he didn't do any voices in this book. There weren't any characters that he felt like he was like, I don't know if there's anybody that I could jump on for this. But for those of you who haven't listened to Irrelevant Jack 2, you've got to check it out. Prax himself is a wonderful actor, and he supplied his voice for a couple of the characters. So that's awesome. I've never seen that in a audiobook before where the author, well, actually no, that's not true.
I've seen, sometimes authors will narrate their own book, right? But they never guest star and do something fun. Except
for Neil Gaiman. He's like
one of the best narrators. He's a better narrator than most narrators, in my opinion. He's so good. But again, he just narrates the whole thing.
Well, no, actually, in the latest Sandman, it's full cast. He narrates it, but then the rest of the cast jump in as
that's the way to do it, man. I think that's the way to do it for him. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe Prax can do something like that someday.
Ooh, Prax recording his own books. Who do we have? Who's here in the chat? Please say hello. We have Unforgiven Sins, who says, I love you guys. I love you, Unforgiven Sins.
I love you.
And I've been wanting to
so
tell
much.
you this for a very long time, but I just didn't have the words. But you just pulled them out of my heart there.
Did you just make that up? Did you just make that up?
Yeah.
It's a wordsmith. He's a wordsmith.
Dead Chimmies. Hello, Chimmy.
Chimmy. Oh man, I still have not yet sent out all the stickers, all the vinyls that Chimmy made for us.
Oh, right.
I need to do that.
Those SBT stickers.
Yes, thank you so much for cricketing those out.
Like cricket?
Yes, he used a cricket bat. And he heated it up. And he took some vinyl in a ball. It was just in a ball, and then he used a brand, right? He used a brand on the cricket bat.
Yeah.
Branded Soundbooth Theater on it, and then he smashed the vinyl with the cricket bat, and it turned into stickers.
Oh, and then he batted it to your place.
Yeah. Then he knocked it all the way to Kansas City.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow,
amazing talent Chimmy is.
Dang. We got who else? We got Camaro 76, who loved Dr. Seuss when they were little. Well, I think I still love Dr. Seuss. I think I still have a love for him. Oh, the places you'll go. Daniel Cook, Min Zircon, Tony T. Tony the Tiger's here.
Yes.
Great. I didn't know he had that much reach. That's amazing. Tony T.
Hey, I got his cousin on my shirt.
Hey, there you go. Yeah. I know you're being coy, Tony. I know you're like, I don't want people to know I'm Tony the Tiger, so I'll be coy about it.
Yeah.
Say T. But you sly motherfucker. I know it's you.
Yeah. Oh, there's another piece of news, Justin, I forgot that we should be talking about. Dice Shame?
What's that? Oh, well, hold on. Okay, all right. So we cannot announce anything yet, but I'm on a podcast called Dice Shame. And it's a D&D live play podcast. I play with my friend Harlan Guthrie. Joe Fallick is the DM, Rob Diabald, and Alex Guthrie. And we're at episode 40. We just released episode 48. Episode 50 is going to be very, very, very special. And unfortunately, I cannot announce why it's going to be special. I don't know. I can't say anything about the specifics, but I can say stay tuned. Pay attention to the Soundbooth Theater page for an announcement on Monday. And maybe I'll drop you a little hint on Friday as to what's going to be going on. But yeah, and if you haven't already, please check out our podcast, Dice Shame. You can find it on, www.diceshamepodcast.com. You can find it on Spotify. You can find it all over wherever you find podcasts. So definitely check it out. It's got sound effects. It's well edited. It's a great storyline and a lot of fun. And and stay tuned for the announcement this Monday.
Great. All right. So other than that, our only other announcement is just that the that the platform is well on its way. End of October is still our targeted launch date. It's looking like we are on schedule as of now. We're really excited, and we just wanted to share two titles today. Both two titles today that are going to be on the platform. One of them is going to be a Soundbooth Theater original. It's called Space Buns, and here to talk with us today about that is Miss Annie Ellicott.
Annie Ellicott?
Yeah, so bring her on in.
Goodness.
Also,
there she is.
Before she shares any more details about that, we should talk about just what's about to come up after Annie tells us a little bit about Space Buns. We have the Lit RPG podcast segment for today, for this month. Mr. Ray Johnson is here to share a review of his that he found particularly compelling. And R.I.P. Ramon's dog. Ramon could not be here today. He lost a furry friend today, and I'm I feel for his loss. I've experienced that this year, so I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. And Ramon, I hope you come back to us next month in better shape. Please take care of your fam who are dealing with the loss. And also after that, we have Cebelius showing up, the author. Let's see. I keep forgetting okay, it is. I looked it up on purpose, and then I totally blanked again. Yes, Mask of the Template. Of course, all of you guys know Mask of the Template, which I think jumped into the harem scene. What was it? End of 2018, and just completely blew everybody out of the water. In my opinion, probably the best harem writer out there at the moment. And he has written a lit RPG, and we have been working on it. We have been working on it for the past few months. Gary Furlong, who is also here with us today, who will be conducting the interview of Mr. Cebelius today. He's the narrator. Annie and I are both in it. Justin, did you do a voice for Send Me an Angel?
I did nothing. I know very, very little about this project besides just looking at the schedule and being like, hey, you watch those deadlines.
Right. Thank you for being that for us. So after Cebelius' interview, we're going to play some Gary's games. He's got a great game planned for us. Maybe Cebelius will join us. I'm not sure. And then lastly tonight, we will be reading a request, which was Life Reset for our very recent release. So we're going to do a little bit of the Mob Squad, I think. A little section of that.
Right.
So,
but before all of that, Annie Ellicott, we just announced Space Buns. Can you tell us a little bit about this project? Who's involved?
Sure.
What's the deal?
Well,
What's it gonna be?
I would say that, I mean, it's hard to say where the seed really originated for Space
No, it's
Buns,
not.
but okay, so Andy Parsnew and I were at whatchamacallit? What's it called, Jeff? What's the name?
Here
of
Now
it?
Festival.
Yeah, the Here Now Festival. And
2019.
we were having we were exchanging sassy words with one another on stage during sound check, and she turned to me and she said something along the lines of like, "Zip it, Space Buns," because I was wearing space buns in my hair. And I said, "Oh my God, please, can that be my superhero name?" And then from there, it's been a sort of organic, evolution involving some possibly late night jam sessions with Soundbooth theater people involving certain substances that make one think things are funnier than they are. And then we got kind of serious about it. And Jeff so kindly gave us the opportunity to create a pilot for the release on the platform. So Emily Labus and I have really been kind of I'm trying to think of a really easy word right now, and I could just come up with another one, but I'm stubbornly wanting to think of this stupid word that I can't think of. We've been developing it together, I would say. So she wrote the script. As you all know, she's a very good and funny writer. And I am playing Space Buns, and I am also going to be using my original music as well.
Okay.
And it's a superhero audio comedy.
Yeah, so guys, keep an eye out. This is going to be the very first Soundbooth Theater original. I'm really hoping you guys dig it. If you guys dig it, we'll be... If you guys dig it, we'll be continuing to produce the series. The first episode is going to be something like 45 minutes to an hour.
Right. So just even if you don't dig it, just say you dig it. Just like
Yeah.
play it,
Yeah.
do something else.
Trick me.
Because you like us.
Trick
wash
me
some
into
dishes or
continuing
like have your teeth
to invest in
pulled.
it. Yeah,
But then just be like, I loved it.
yeah.
And
Hey,
yes, I
speaking-
did. My booth did move. That's right.
Ooh.
My booth moved.
A new location.
I'm in a new location.
Wow.
A new
And you have a view.
non-disclosed location.
Her lair. Well, thank you very much, Annie. I mean, I'm super stoked for Space Buns. We have in the wings right now Raymond Johnson with a review. Why don't we get set up for a little bit of R? A little
Just
R.
R. Just R.
Whoa!
You just blew our minds.
Yeah,
He's already got a VR goggles on.
that's exactly it. I'm actually playing a game right now as we speak.
No way. Whoa, watch it.
Yeah,
You want to fight?
if you want, I'm up for it, Justin. You know me. I'm a fighter. Well, no, I'm a lover.
Oh,
Can you see through that? Like, I feel like that would be blinding me.
No. Hold up 2 fingers. I'll tell you how many you have.
Okay.
You're supposed to hold up 2, Jeff. I told you 2.
Okay. Well,
No,
at least I know that you knew I was not following the rules.
Yeah. No, you
Ray,
can see
what are you reviewing today, Ray?
I'm going to be reviewing a book that I kind of stumbled upon it by accident. It was one of those ones where you go onto a website and you get a free book, on a free audio book or whatever it is if you get it. And it was called Fresh Blood by Jessica Hicks.
Oh.
It's narrated by Travis Baldree. And I'll tell you right now, Travis Baldree he's a really great narrator. I love him a lot. And I discovered him on this book called Dog Walker a long time ago. And for me, that is like the seminal book for that guy. I mean, like, he just made that book amazing. So anytime I see something with Travis, I'm grabbing it, I'm running with it, I'm reading it, listening to it, I should say. And, so I saw this and I said, I've never heard of the writer. I've never heard of Jessica. I've never heard of the book. I don't know if Ramon had reviewed the book or what he had thought. But it was, for me, it was one of those ones, I'm going to give it a shot just because of Travis. And there's narrators like that I just like glom onto, like all of the 3 of you especially, that I listen to religiously. And so I said, I'm going to give this book a shot. So I started listening to it, and I got to say, my expectations were like right here. I said, okay, don't know how well it's going to go. I'll check it out. And I really found myself enjoying it because it was more of a crafting book than it was what I'd expected. It's very light game lit. It's not a lit RPG heavy. It's not crunchy. It is a game lit book because there's just little minimal progressions here and there. They do respawn and that sort of thing. And the book itself is about a struggle to survive on a planet after I'll lay it out like this. There's a guy named Felix. He's a traveling space salesman. And he is on a ship that he is paid $0 for so that he could save money when he gets to the planet he's going to make his sales. And basically, something goes very, very, very wrong, and everybody abandons ship. They abandon ship, and the people that survive crash land on this planet, which they don't know is a game planet. So if you know Jamie Hawk and Planet Kill, similar to that, the people there just don't know they're playing. They've been inducted.
Right.
So, and so of course it's got that going for it right off the bat. I really like that a lot. And then it just kind of goes with Felix and this one other guy who he saves, which is like a reptilian, and they struggle to survive. And basically it's just them trying to build a place to live, figure out how to make weapons, how to make a home and fend off raiders and monsters. And the only part that was really down for me at all, and I have to say that the part that threw me was where it would flip over and go to the end of each chapter. They would have like a thing where the narrator of the game show would come out, and he'd be like, "Well, wasn't that really exciting, ladies and gentlemen? I really enjoyed this, and I hope you think this or that." And then they would do little commercials for like, and if you think you've got lizard problems, well, here, use this. And it was cute, but it really took away from the story for me. And I think that if they'd had like maybe an evil producer saying, "Oh man, send in like the giant iguanas to eat them," or something along those lines, it would have been a little bit better. I mean, honestly, for where I was thinking the book was going to be and where it ended up with the entire concept, like I say, it's nothing original or new. Like I've read Planet Kill, but they flipped it because it was more about crafting. Like they would have to figure out like, well, I've got to hit this tree so many times to get this log, and I need 18 logs to build this table, and I need, so on and so forth. And then they would have to research stuff to get it done. That made it a lot different. And if you really are into crafting, this is the kind of story that you would enjoy. And with Travis doing the narration, I mean, he elevated it up. I don't want to say it was a low start, but he elevated the story up, just to a point where you're like, man, this was amazing. I really enjoyed it. And like I said, the only parts for me that did not work out very well were the end shots of each chapter where they're just kind of saying, here's a recap, and they're going to do this or that from the TV point of view. So otherwise, it was very enjoyable. I would probably say it was a 7.9 to an 8. I haven't really kind of figured it out yet in my head, but I mean that's where it's at. I mean, I just said, man, this is a good book for an unknown. Like I said, I've never heard of Jessica Hicks, and if I should have, I'm sorry. And that's my bad. But I really think that she did a great job with this book.
Well, does Jessica Hicks have any other titles out right now? Is this part of a series, or is this?
Honestly, I don't know. I know that when I looked into her stuff, she only has one audiobook out. So I hate to say it, I don't read. I don't have time. So I don't read. So I don't go to see what other books are out there unless it's like a big series. So I don't know what she has otherwise, but this is the one book that she's got. So yeah, that's it. And like I say, for me, the art didn't catch me. I mean, it's nice art. It's okay, but it's not what I would have said, man, I see that and I've got to get it. But like I said, I was kind of looking around for something new, to kind of round out stuff, and that fit the spot quite nicely. And I will say this: had Ramon been here today, I would have been discussing Adventurers Academy, just because I love that book, and I kind of want to make it a spotlight for Soundbooth, but I wanted to bounce it off him because I know he's read the book. So this one I know. I don't think he's ever read this, and I didn't want to do anything, So knowing that he wasn't here, that was where I kind of slotted it in as soon as I kind of figured that out. So
hey, well, that's absolutely perfect, Ray. And I see in the groups a lot of the time, a lot of people are asking for more crafting books, asking about recommendations for crafting books. So this is perfect. If you are one of those people who have messaged the Lit RPG Books group, Gamelit Society, Lit RPG Reads, definitely sounds like a book that you'd enjoy if you're looking for crafting.
Absolutely. And like I say, it's got its moments. There's a lot of action, a lot of tenseness, and there's a lot of death. But
okay, all right.
There's crafting to it too. So like I said, it's got a lot of stuff to it, but for me it was the crafting element that made it stand out compared to, like I say, Planet Kill, for example.
Well, thank you very much, Ray, for your review, for your honor. And yes, the audience, they love you, Ray. They just love you. They eat you up. And those glasses, oh my goodness. Look at those. Just wow.
Yes, I don't mean to make anybody jealous. Just had to get it.
Well, thanks again, Ray. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. You take care.
1 month.
Oh, yeah. 1 month.
1 month.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. 1 month. In 2 SBTLs. Thank you, Jeff.
And 2 SBTLs, yes.
Okay. I'll be there or I'll be square.
You better be here. You better be here.
Yeah, that sounded like an interesting book.
Yeah, it reminds me of
Travis Baldry is great, man. Like I don't know when he came onto the scene, but I think he might have been one of the first guys. If you guys didn't know, we narrate live on our Discord server, and you can find the link in the description below to our Discord. but we like to narrate live, but we're not like as organized about it as a lot of as like, for instance, Andy Parsnow. Like she is just always on top of it. Always, she's always in that Discord on a schedule, right? And then other narrators caught on. They made this place called the Narrator's Nook, and that's another Discord server. And there, it's just like every hip new narrator that's around right now, and some old fogies too that feature there sometimes. And Travis Baldry's there all the time, and so I've popped into there to listen to him a few times, and he's great, man. And he's I feel like he's kind of leading the charge in that regard. He's got his own publishing company too.
I believe he does. Travis, if you see this, please drop a link to your publishing company. I know he does.
He does video
games. He does produce video games.
That's right. Yeah, I was trying to remember where I'd heard about him before when he just started with audiobooks. I think, yeah, he was talking to people about doing video game voices. So, yeah, he's a force to be reckoned with. Keep your eye out for his name on audiobooks.
Well, what do we have next? Is it time for a little requests only?
No, not yet.
Oh,
it's Cebelius.
It's Cebelius! Oh, it's Cebelius! Oh my goodness!
Perfect intro.
Howdy.
Look at that! Look at this! Look at this! Can we get a close up here?
Emerging
on
from the
Cebelius?
cloud of smoke.
Look, this aesthetic perfection here. The smoke clouds, the cowboy hat, the cigar
on the icon was just a joke or a gimmick. It's not. I smoke.
I was half expecting a Minotaur to show up.
Just a sentient Minotaur.
Back when I started in 2018, I was still employed, and I was employed at a company that would have fired me if they found out what I wrote. So couldn't have my face associated with it at all, because they were the sort to troll Facebook for that sort of thing. So yeah, I had to.
I knew a guy who got in trouble for doing that. He used the company's computers, and they printed out an entire pornographic scene he had written and just said, "What's this?"
In retrospect, I wish that was how I got fired. I had to quit, actually. So that was but now I'm employed by my audience, so I really hope they continue to like what I put out.
Well, it sounds like they do, Seb.
So far.
Yeah. So, Cebelius, so can you give us a little bit of an overview from the beginning of your writing career? What you've written, what you started with, and what you're working with us with now. Send Me an Angel, right?
Sure. Basically, I have been writing as long as I could read. And when kids said, I want to be an astronaut, or I want to be a policeman or a firefighter, I said, I want to be the next Terry Brooks, which was, apologies to Mr. Brooks, but your books don't hold up that well. So I always wanted to be a writer. And when I was a little kid, I'd wander around, and I would always have a little notebook with me that I would be writing in. And then I figured out that most writers never get published. So I kind of gave that up, and I quit writing, and I became a network engineer. I joined the Air Force as a computer guy, and I did my whole Air Force career. And as soon as I got out of that, I became an engineer for the cellular companies, and I put up cell sites all over the country. And then I got back into network defense and went overseas, and I spent time in Kyrgyzstan and Kuwait, Afghanistan, doing computer crap. And then I found my future ex-wife, and I came back. And it was a few years after I'd gotten back to the States when a couple of buddies of mine said, hey, you used to write when you were a kid. This self-publishing thing is now a thing. People are making money off of it. So several friends got together and said, we're going to start a writing group with the objective of going self-publishing and see if we can make it. Do you want in? And I said, sure, why not? I got time in the evenings. And I'll abridge that to say that I was working on a project that I'm working on with you guys, and I'll come back to it. But the initial writing was happening when my father was in decline. He was going through a rough patch, and he wounded. I'm an author. I write, seriously.
I do it all the time.
There's no editor.
Get paid to read and say things.
Thank you, Tap.
Yeah.
Is very good. I liked it. I had fun. But the book kind of got really dark, and that's not what lit RPG people like. They want more light and fluffy most of the time. There are exceptions, of course. So I put that aside, and I said, I need to write something that will allow me to recapture the fun, which is, I enjoy writing. I love it. But I wanted to write something fun. So I said, well, what do I like? And at the time, I just got done watching Monster Musume, and I was reading some things that were harem, and I said, I can do that. It will be fun. So I put together this idea. The one thing that I had noticed in harem, and forgive me for all the other authors who may or may not ever see this, but most of the protagonists in harem at that time were complete sociopaths. They were awful people. It's just awful people. So those were my three premises. That I wanted monster girls, I wanted harem, and I wanted a protagonist that actually felt like a real human being to me. And I like isekai, and I always have. So that was it. The Portal Fantasy, monster girl, harem with a decent guy as a protag. And I wrote Mask of the Template in a month. I had a comic book artist that I knew at the time put together a cover for me, which I've since replaced. And it went out, and I forgot about it. I said, okay, bucket list checked, and I went back to the Lit RPG project, and I was working on that. And about 3 days later, some dude said, hey, they're talking about you on Facebook. You need to sign on to Facebook and start. And well, 9 days after release, it hit bestseller in its category.
Nice.
And it went all the way to like 125 overall paid in store. And I said, well, I left a few. So I wrote the arc for the next 5 books, and I put the second one out, and it also did. I said, well, I guess I'm not doing Lit RPG, I'm doing harem, because that's clearly what they want to pay me to do. And so that was the Celestine Chronicles. And to this date, unfortunately, well, I mean, that's not it. One of the other authors in my group, his name is Scott Morgan. He put out some books in harem afterward, and they did okay. And but other than that, my writing group is still, they're still working on their projects. So, I'm 8 books in now and just kind of cruising along. And that brings us back to Send Me an Angel. I was at Dragon Con last year. They didn't have it this year, apparently. But last year I was at Dragon Con, and I met Jeff and the Soundbooth people, and we sat down and we had lunch. And Jeff says to me, you're doing really well. We want to do a book for you, but do you have one that isn't explicit? And I said, no. I have a project that I kind of shelved that I was working on before all of this kicked off that isn't explicit. He said, we'll do that. And I said, okay. So I went back to the project, which is called the Divine Cohen series. And the first book is Send Me an Angel. And I said, oh my God, I wrote this. And so I redid a lot of the premise and fixed it up as much as I could. And I sent it off. And well, what really sold me though on Soundbooth was I got a what do you call it? An audition. And I said, this audition is freaking phenomenal. And it was Gary Furlong that they chose to be the voice. And thank you, Gary. When I heard the audition, I said, okay, now I'm stoked. I really,
awesome.
really,
Thank you
really
very
want
much.
to give this to Soundbooth based purely on this audition, which was awesome. And so here we are. I finished the book. I sent it off to Soundbooth. They've done it. I'm holding off on the release until it can go live on Soundbooth's website. And provided I don't get absolutely lambasted by the Lit RPG folks, it's gamelit, by the way. I feel I should mention that. It's not Lit RPG. It's not crunchy Lit RPG. It's gamelit. And we can go into the differences in the genre. I'm a book geek, so I know the differences in the genre. It's not Lit RPG. It's gamelit. But here we are. So that brings us right back to Soundbooth and Send Me an Angel. And thank you for wanting to and being willing to do my book.
Not at all. I mean, you say you enjoyed the audition, but honestly, like, when the material is good, that makes a huge difference. Like, a massive difference. So, like, it was, when I got it, the audition, I was like, oh, I would like this, please. And so did, you know.
Well, I appreciate
some auditions.
I try and write well, and that's a lot of my fans tell me that I write well. I mean, among other things. Obviously, I hate the genre, but they say, well, what makes Seb books stand out is that the quality of the writing and the characterization is a bit better than it is for a lot of the book a month club, we'll call them.
Sure.
Hey, well, we actually have a clip. Can you believe it?
Oh, yeah.
We have a clip of Send Me an Angel, never before heard by the greater community. What do you say we... okay, I'll just play it.
Yeah, do it.
Drums! Sirhan cried, his voice booming. A slow, steady beat thrummed through the room, one deep reverberation every 2 seconds. Sirhan took up his weapon from another servitor, a gem-encrusted platinum-plated sledge with a metal haft 6 feet long. The face of the hammer was cleated, and the back of the head ended in a vicious spike. Caden's blackguard was a huge man, 4 inches over 6 feet and 240 pounds of solid muscle. As he stepped around the table and came to stand in front of the offending Sir Brafen, the Chevalier boldly spoke. Sirhan, surely I cannot face you in armor while you stand naked to my blade. For a moment, silence reigned in the hall but for the crackling of the fire in the hearth behind the king and the slowly beating drum. Then Sirhan let out a bellowing laugh, and all the rest of the nobles in the hall, terrified of retribution, laughed along with him. The drum beat on. When the laughter faded, King Caden said,
Surely you hear that drum, Brafen? Those beats mark the scant time left in your life. I give you no more than 10 beats once battle is joined. Make peace with the powers, draw your sword, and face death on your feet.
So good! It's so good! I'm as much a fan of the audio. When I write a book and I think it's good, I publish it and people like it, great. And then I get the audio. You know, well, hey, it's great. They pay me. That's awesome. And then
You're welcome.
The audiobook comes out, and I squeak just as loudly as anybody that's waiting for it, because when it's performed, that's somebody else doing an amazing job. That, I mean, the fact that it's my book is just icing on the cake. It's awesome to hear those performances, and that I've never heard that clip before, and I'm stoked. I can't wait.
Dude, Gary, thank you so much, by the way, for casting me as the villain. I think it's always a pleasure to play the villains, and Cebelius did a great job.
At the end of the book, that's as a villain, that's freaking amazing. It's awesome.
Speaking of villains, I mean, you have 2 of the worst people in the world as your villains. Jeff playing one of them as King Caden. Where do you get, like, the inspiration to write those kind of dudes and dudettes?
Well, some of the villains, really, I'm not really that great a person, personally. And so all I do when I'm thinking of creating a villain is I take some dark impulse, and as human beings, human nature is not inherently good. We have to be taught to be good people. If nobody teaches a kid how to act and what to do, most of them wind up unholy terrors. Just look at any 3-year-old that's allowed to wander around, and the kids these days are actually on leashes. That's how bad they are. But they grow up to be terrible human beings. So all I do is I take a dark impulse and I increase it to the nth degree.
To 11.
And you can have an otherwise decent human being with just one dark impulse that will then make them a compelling villain. And so that's what I do. I mean, Annie Wise, who is one of the two villains,
Ooh.
is
Played by Annie Ellicott.
Nope. This way. Nope. This
Hi,
way.
guys. Sorry.
I just have to put it down.
But yeah,
Sorry to
Annie.
be caught scratching my head.
Yeah, Annie Wise is she has a dark impulse that I will leave you to read the book to find out. And then King Caden is the other villain, and King Caden is completely sociopathic, but he has another motivation, a deeper motivation that ties into the actual arc of the book. So I won't give that away yet. But yeah, so that's basically how I come up with my villains.
I just remember reading as I was narrating, going through, thinking like, these are two of the most terrifying people I've ever come across, and I'm glad I don't know them.
Me too. Me too. Trust me, I wouldn't like either of those people in person. But it's a nature of gamelit as well, or when you're in a game. And I have another series that deals more deeply with this particular topic, is that when you're in a game, you're allowed to entertain the darker impulses. You're encouraged almost in some of them to entertain these darker impulses. And in society, it serves the purpose of catharsis. You get to sort of scratch that itch without actually killing people and burning down houses and taking money from the hooker and then running her over in the car. And if you've played GTA, you did that. Don't pretend you didn't.
Indeed, I have.
You got out and you ran her over before getting the money and driving off again. I know you did it. So
I have. Many a hooker have experienced my wrath.
GTA.
In GTA.
Grand Theft Auto. Honestly, that game, I mean, wow, so many things to atone for.
It's a good way to learn the layout of a city.
That's true. Yeah.
And if you run a lot of people down in a row, you get points.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
real life, yeah?
like I said, they're encouraging,
Like real life.
Yeah, they encourage the darker aspects of human nature so that when you sign off the game, you can go out into the world and not feel like, killing puppies and burning houses down. And,
Right.
Yeah, and you've got a smile on your
Very
face the whole
true.
time, and people are like, "Why are you smiling?" And you're like, no reason." Well,
Indeed.
Cebelius, Send Me an Angel is going to be rolled out with the platform, which is going to be released. We're on track for the end of October. It's going to be on the starting lineup.
Yep.
So
it's not going to be on Audible. It's only going to be on the Soundbooth site. And I'm waiting to release the book until the site goes live. So
Awesome.
So you'll be able to get your ears on it then. Thank you very much, Cebelius, and wish you all the best.
absolutely, no problem. Thanks for having me.
So what's next? It's Gary's Games, right?
We're doing Gary's Games next?
We can do, yeah?
Indeed.
Okay, let's do it.
Or are we doing request only?
Are we doing a request only? I thought that there was a chance that Cebelius was going to be playing with us, but if not, then we can do life reset.
Cut. All right. So what's going on? What are we
Can we
doing
reset?
next?
Can we reset? Get the cameras back in
Pause.
position.
Everybody who's watching this live, just break your brains. for a few minutes
break.
while we figure this
Oh,
out.
just take a break, a brain break. Okay, just take a
Right.
brain
Hit the
break.
brakes
Okay,
with your
Hit
brain.
brakes on the brains. Okay, all right, yeah,
break
that makes
your
sense.
brains.
Since we have Seb here, let's go ahead with a quick wee game. Very quickly, this one is called Story Death. Basically, we're going to have one moderator. I think for the first one, that will be me. And the other 4 are going to tell a story one by one as I call their names. If they hesitate, they die. And then it's down to 3, 2, and then fight. Okay,
Right.
it's very simple. Do we have a topic that we want to go on? Do we want to go with our original topic? Without
Smash his head
saying
against table.
molestation?
Right.
Let's leave that off the table.
So our topic is
No moleste.
crocodile hunting induced doo-doo, and not a word about molestation.
Okay.
Okay, Jeff, you start.
So, one thing that you have to consider when you are hunting crocodiles is that their dung has a very, very specific odor and flavor. So, in order to track the crocodile, it's very important that you stimulate your olfactory senses. So, one
Annie,
thing that
continue.
So one thing that I like to do to stimulate the olfactory, the old olfactory as I like to call it, is I just take a few days off from bathing, and then I do a nice long session in my booth, and you know, the delicious pheromones that emit from my own armpits.
Justin.
Are absolutely intoxicating, especially if you are a crocodile or an alligator. Either one works. Now, another alternative to being in your booth is just standing in that hot African sun. And it had been hot in the particular country that I was in Africa, which I can't
Seb.
actually...
Well, when you're in Africa, the sun, it comes, that beats down on you. The smell was just absolutely too intense for me. So I took a shower to clean that mess off. And then I decided that I was going to actually, you know, my experience with my own redolence now achieved, I went to decide to go do some crocodile hunting. And not knowing of any places in Africa that actually have crocodiles, I went to Brazil. And it was
Jeff. End it.
Of course, in Brazil, the crocodiles all know jujitsu. And they're all sweaty from it. They smell just like me after not having showered for 5 days and being in the booth. So really, we got along great. I was able to show the crocodiles the triangle. Of course, I lost my leg in that lesson, but I think it was worth it because it was educational for the wildlife. Now, considering that their legs are a bit too stubby to actually perform a triangle, they can't even actually hook their knees together. They weren't able to do it, but at least they know the defense, which I taught them.
That was a beautiful story in which I don't think any of us mentioned doo-doo.
I did.
No.
I did
Oh,
at
you
the
mentioned
beginning.
doo-doo?
I did. Remember, I was saying that's how you have to track them down, and then everyone changed the subject.
Eric Bailey really hopes that we never develop a method to smell through digital mediums, which I have to wholeheartedly disagree with.
Can you imagine sending
go
your
either
friend
way.
a fart?
No. This is a moral hazard that should not be explored.
Open the file.
hardest part
Open the file, Gary.
about coming up with that technology would be, how do you get the smells out? You know, because if you're watching, you know, some sort of like crazy saga of somebody traveling the world and, you know, eating lots of delicious meals, having sex with lots of people, I don't know, taking shits in lots of different bathrooms.
We usually omit the bathroom breaks in most of these books, so we can spare you that.
Oh, okay.
Shall
Good
we
call.
do...
Notice most protags never use the bathroom.
I mean,
Let's
all
do another
those
one.
smells might be good on their own, but when you put them all together in the same room, they start to make a strange smell.
Yeah.
They smell
Can we
sour.
call
Okay,
this next
all
one
right.
I Mailed My Stank?
I mailed my
This is going to be a smelly Gary's Games.
I mailed my stank. Okay.
Who wants to moderate, or shall I do it again?
I will moderate. Gary, why don't you lead us off with the number one bestseller, I Sold My Stank. Take it away.
Everybody, one day and I was just thinking about my friend, and I thought I'd use the new technology that I had in my phone called Stank Mail. So what I did is I took my phone out and wiped it between my butt and saved my stank that I was going to send to my friend. It was a stank in my butt that I just had in some... I just had some spicy food, so I decided that I would mail him that stank. That was a good stank that I was going to mail him.
Well, he opened up the email, he received it, and he did not have the reaction that I expected.
Jeff.
He just about went wild. I mean, I thought I was excited about this stank, but this man pretty much just destroyed his pants.
Gary.
When he smelled.
Then he mailed me the stank he made in his pants. I didn't want that stank. I wasn't asking for that stank, but he sent it to me. Now, I found that was bad form. I really thought he shouldn't have sent me that stank. I was the stank initiator, so why is he sending me an unasked for stank? We had a previous conversation. There was precedent set that I was going to mail him a stank. I didn't want no...
Once I received this stank, I realized the fatal flaw in this technology. And I emailed back my friend and said, we got to kill a man who invented the technology that allows us to send stank. So we got together. We picked us up some long guns and some short guns. And since we all obviously from Texas, they were easy to come by. And then we went down to the Walmart. But
Jeff.
they were out there.
Of course, the Walmart had every kind of stank that you might possibly need. So what we thought was...
Annie.
That we would just go in there and very sneakily turn on our stank apps, and we would collect all those stanks.
Gary.
Then little Johnny, he went out of control. He started running up behind people, rubbing the stank phone in people's armpits and smacking them in the face, just saying, dude, give me that stank. And we just left him. We didn't even stay. We left. Because when you in Walmart and little Johnny gets crazy and he rubbing his stank app in people's face.
Then you get into a huge mess with Walmart security. And Walmart security had all kinds of, I mean, they was chasing us, and we went out in
the parking lot, and all of a sudden I had this great idea. I said, hold on, Bobby.
Let's collect dead sharks. We'll get they stink, and then they stank will mix with Walmart stank, and then we'll package all that up, and we'll send it in the app to the person who...
So to conclude all of that, we just sent my friend some stank because he sent me his pants stank that I didn't ask for.
The end. Hey!
Nice.
Oh my God. Such a smelly SBTL.
Perfect round.
Just the word stank is just so funny to me.
Stank.
Stank.
I think I first heard it in Family Guy. Quagmire said, "You letting the stank out."
Oh, is that where it originated?
I had to do it just now.
I don't know if it originated from there.
No, it originated when it became the past tense version of the word stink.
Look at that.
I love how Walmart security got involved. They never got involved.
Me too.
I love finding reasons to say the word stank in its past tense version.
Yeah, stank.
Put it in a point you're going to narrate just for you.
Good.
An entire monologue about it.
That's gonna be the word that's like way overused. Is
the
stank.
Chronicles of Stank.
Like, why is he so into this word?
This is why it's so important for narrators and authors to be together and to work together, so that things like stank make it into future books.
This is prime streaming right now. This is collaboration at its finest, everyone.
Yeah, this is creativity at the top of its game.
Indeed.
Top of
its very.
Say that again, Seb.
I said I'm willing to bet this is how Space Buns came to be. Except and you'll have to forgive me. I thought it was like rabbits in space when I first heard it.
Space Buns.
Ooh, perfect. I like that. I mean, I'm going to write that down. We're definitely going to
I like dogs.
We're going to use that somehow.
I like cats. I like buns.
And spice.
Buns and potatoes. Bun salad.
Well, I think that is that is Gary's.
It's a good
games.
stanky way to end it.
It was.
That's a good stanky way. Thank you very much, Cebelius, for the interview and your surprise appearance in Gary's games. Holy.
We need to get more of our authors to play Gary's games with us. I think that was a success.
See what we can get them to say.
Indeed,
100%.
yeah.
100%.
As long as they can stand the smell. So, Life Reset 4 is our request, and we don't often get a request for a production we've actually done, but it's exciting when we do, especially for our most popular series. Right, Mr. Shemer Kuznets, again, thank you, sir, for being our best client, author, our best author. We'll just call him author.
How about best friend?
Thank you, Shemer, for being my best friend. He's my best friend.
Shemer, no, he's my best friend.
We got barbecue together.
He's my best friend.
I've never met the man personally.
Okay.
All right, he's your best friend. All right.
Yes.
Okay, I gotta go get the script from my other monitor. 1 second.
While he's gone, nobody take this away from me. I know that you're thinking it. This is my moment. Okay. All right. You will not.
Okay,
Shemer
Justin.
away
Okay.
And neither with you. You watching at home. Hey, come here.
Okay.
You come here. All right.
So, I think that so I have the PDF here, but I thought it would be an edited PDF.
Interlude the Mob Squad.
Interlude the Mob Squad. So I guess we can just search for that.
You can control
214. Hey, 214. 214. 214. Improv song. 214 is the number that we sing when we're singing about squads. Mob squads.
Division. PEMDAS.
Mob squads. Interlude. Yeah. Jeff is still searching for the spot in the script that he is going to read. Annie is sitting on a squeaky chair. The squeaky chair solo. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know that feeling. It's so awful.
I was so cool up until that moment.
Oh, I'm sorry. What page was it? What page?
214.
Okay.
I gave you an entire song, Jeff, if it wasn't clear from that song.
Okay, who's playing who?
For a moment.
Okay, it's not working for me. So I type in 214 and it's like, what does that mean?
That's not a number. Interlude.
Here we go. 214. Got it. Okay, so this is the Mob Squad for anybody who's not a Life Reset fan yet. You will be after this. We have a small party, kind of a side party of the series called the Mob Squad, and it's Riley, who is a Nomblin, a gnome goblin hybrid. We have Misa, who is a goblin elf hybrid. We have Racia, who's a cat girl, and we have Fox, who is, he's a bugbear. That's right, he's a bugbear.
Oh.
But they're all players, and they have their own little side quest that they're doing through all the stories that has a larger impact on the overall plot. So it's told in interludes, which are just I just love how they play out, and we get to have fun with these interesting characters. So what we should do is we should cast these characters out.
Yeah.
And so let's play some kind of fun game with it.
Okay.
Okay.
So how about Annie? Do you wanna play a different character? Should we gender bend here?
That's gender bend.
Sure.
We'll
Okay.
try that.
So do you want to be the bugbear or the Nomblin? Annie.
I'm answering you.
Nope.
Oh wait, I can't see. I'm sorry, I can't see you.
She's
Just
Nomblin.
kidding.
I think
I'm not
that's
really
Nomblin.
answering you. I'll be the Nomblin.
All right, you'll be the Nomblin. You're Riley.
I'm Riley. Okay.
Okay, so one of you other two ladies, pick the bugbear.
I'm a cat. What do bugbears sound like? I'll be a bugbear.
But a bugbear is like, it's like the next step up from hobgoblin,
Okay, this is
right?
Racia?
So like goblin, hobgoblin, bugbear.
Okay, I have a voice that will not adhere to that at all. But
Oh
I
wait,
want to do
but
it.
more like goblin, hobgoblin, orc, bugbear.
Okay.
Like they keep getting bigger, right?
Oh.
Okay.
Racy is the cat person.
Racy is the cat girl.
Who's the bugbear?
Fox.
The bugbear is Fox.
Fox. Okay, I'm Fox.
All right. So, Justin, do you want Misa, the goblin elf, or Raistia, the cat girl?
I'll do Raistia, please.
Okay. So, Raistia's deal is she's really good at being adorable and
Okay.
and manipulating people with that.
Nice.
Fox, your deal is you're grumpy and big, and you smash things. And Riley, your deal is you're like the brains of the operation, and you're a little neurotic. And then I'm a seductress, of course. You can tell just by looking. So, all right, who wants to narrate?
Oh, we can tell. We can tell.
I can narrate if no one else wants to, because I don't mind. Whatever.
Yeah.
I will
Do your
narrate.
thing.
I will narrate.
Yeah?
And all right, let's get a suggestion from the audience with what accent should I narrate. Life Reset 4
Yes.
by
What
Shimmer
accent?
Kuznets.
What
Yeah.
accent? It can be anything.
Yeah.
Just,
And if you pick something I can't do, I'm just going to make some shit up.
just go
And
through
it's
it.
going to be terrible. So, have fun with your request. The first person who put something up, I'm taking it.
Yep. Very first person who says an accent.
Give me something.
You
Give me
know?
something, audience. Give me something. Come on.
Oh,
See if I can
Someone
do it.
specific. Could be a Miles Davis accent. It could
Oh,
be. I'm
that'd
not
be
going to
fun.
give away all these ideas.
I'd love
I'm
to
gonna
do a
wait for
Miles
the-
Davis.
I know.
See, you're coming
Don't
up with
we
stuff
all?
before the audience does.
I know.
Come on,
then now
somebody.
they can't say
somebody.
Miles Davis. Southern.
Southern.
Oh,
All right.
Austrian.
Austrian.
Scottish was
Southern,
first.
Austrian, Scottish.
Everyone, Southern and Austrian
Scottish.
And Scottish.
and Scottish, because they
Oh.
all came at once, right?
Southern Austrian. I heard Southern Austrian goddess.
Do a Southern
All right.
Austrian goddess.
Floofy Floof, Dead Chimneys, and Finn Matcha. Thank you for your suggestions. I will.
Yes, thank you.
All right. The cat girl. Hold on. I got Southern and Austrian in there.
Yeah,
And what was it?
you got this.
Southern, Austrian, and Scottish. Oh,
Scottish.
jeez.
Scottish.
So I need to roll my R's.
It sounds a little bit like Arnold.
I have to sound like Arnold. And,
Scottish Arnold.
Arnold.
But I got to have the southern drawl. All right, I will try it. The cat girl entered the run-down house, closing the wobbly door behind her. The interior was one open room with 4 tin mattresses on the floor at one end and a rudimentary kitchen at the other.
Raistia.
Riley, the half-goblin dwarf adventurer said with obvious relief.
You've been away for a while.
You got us all a bit concerned, Kitty, added Misa, the half-goblin elf woman.
Sorry.
Raistia muttered. She placed a few small parcels on top of the lone rickety table in their meagre kitchen.
This is the last payment.
A large yellow bugbear strode toward her and examined the goods. Despite his muscular physique, his cheeks were hollow.
Is that all?
He demanded.
It's barely enough to feed me!
I'm sorry, Fox.
The cat girl looked down.
I tried to haggle for more, but they wouldn't
Oh my
hear
god,
it.
you're fucking possessed. What happened?
And our findings weren't that
You got your helicopters back.
That's
Oh, no,
just
my
his
helicopter?
voice for his voice.
What does it sound like? Hold on, pause. What is?
Oh,
the
it's gone.
helicopter-
It's gone.
I
It's
don't
gone.
know. I don't know why
All
it
you have to
does
do
that.
is tell it to pause, and it stops.
There we go.
I tried to haggle for more, but they wouldn't hear of it. Claimed our findings weren't that exciting.
What?
Riley nearly shouted.
We worked on it for weeks. This research will completely revolutionize medical operations in a zero-G environment.
Apparently, there's not much demand for advanced surgeries and spies.
Fox said Riley.
I told you to concentrate on other areas.
Riley narrowed his eyes.
We explored the most promising lead we had. It's not like I saw you come up with any new architectural designs lately, which is your area of expertise, as I recall.
The yellow bugbear growled at him.
Aye.
Boys, Misa said almost lazily. This is getting a little out of hand. We know what to do to improve our situation here.
We all agreed it's too risky.
The dwarf argued.
They're guarding that place constantly.
They're not paying attention to the parts they already dug through. Misa looked at Restia. Oh, I'm sorry. What do you say, Kitty? The chief gave the location of his secret stash to you. Secret implies no one knows it's there. We can be in and out before anyone notices. Then we'll have plenty of gold to live comfortably until the cavalry comes to our rescue. Restia closed her eyes for a moment, then slowly nodded.
I think you're right. When it started, we could have still lived off our research, but it keeps getting harder. We need to find another source to sustain us. I'm in.
The half-elf goblin woman crept her hands together. I'm leaving it. Oh, wonderful.
Oh God.
What's on your hands? It's crap. Crap.
What's so stinky?
She turned to the two men. You heard her, boys. Gear up.
What gear?
Fox huffed.
I have to sell off most of it for food. We've got barely enough left to hunt down a stray cat.
He moved to a wooden storage chest and drew out a few pieces of equipment. The muscular bugbear put on a dented chest plate and pulled a knuckle duster onto his fingers. Riley put on black priest robes over a rusted chain shirt and held a simple wooden staff. Misa strapped a couple of chains around her torso, having long ago pawned her magical chain ring. Restia put on her tight-fitting... Am I even, saying words at this point? Restia put on her tight-fitting black clothes and pulled the hood over her head, looking like some sort of exotic ninja cat. Misha studied him with a mischievous smile. Now, aren't we a group of dangerous-looking misfits? Not bad for a bunch of level 4 characters, if I do say so myself. Fox snorted.
Not a single decent weapon among the four of us. What can possibly go wrong?
Riley winced.
We're probably going to get ourselves killed.
Maybe.
Fox tightened the leather strap of his armor.
But Misa's got a point. A year of inaction has atrophied us. It's time for the mob squad to get back into action. Screw the pain.
A small chime accompanied by a blinking icon appeared on Restia's side view.
Oh! I got a message.
It's like the Pillsbury Dough Kitten. She said quietly. Everyone turned to look at her.
Who besides us has your contact information?
Restia hesitated.
You know who.
He's back?
Riley asked excitedly.
What does he say?
The cat girl clicked on the message and read it aloud.
Back now. Sorry it took so long. Hang in there. Help is on the way. Orin.
Misa gave a small chuckle. His name is Oren. Fox grinned savagely.
Kinda stupid name for a goblin chief and a would-be savior.
Hell, I don't care what he's called.
Riley said.
He's coming to get us.
The bugbear shook his head.
He can't help us. The entire force of Everon stands between him and us. They need us here to continue doing pointless research for them. If this Oren guy tries to bring these goblins with him, they'll all be obliterated.
I don't know. Misa tapped her teeth. He's a pretty resourceful guy. He did bring down the strongest guild in Neo. I think there's a chance he can save us.
Then he's going to need our support.
Racia said firmly.
We need to be ready to help from the inside. And for that, we need resources.
Riley grunted.
You don't mean...
The cat girl nodded.
We can do it! Get the stash! Get ready! Together!
Misa gave them all her sunny smile. Let's have some fun. And that's it. That's Life Reset 4. So what I really like about that scene is, I think when Life Reset 3 came out, some of the reviews, some of the readers and listeners were not happy, and I think it was because they thought the series was over. And so it's that little interlude it kind of reminds me of like a bunch of fans, like, yes, he's back, so it kind of speaks in a meta way to that. And I just really love doing those people's voices, and I really love doing an Austrian Scottish accent. I feel like my Austrian kept bleeding out, and I just started doing the Scottish thing. But it was more about the melody and the rhythm for the Austrian.
It was a
and
nice
like
Scottish
Gary
accent.
kind of stole my Austrian away.
Oh, he jumped
I
right
think
in
someone said Arnold at the start and was like, "Oh, big bugbear, I'll be Arnold."
Yeah, that works. I mean, Bugbear works for Arnold. Also, in the future, we will be playing a game that I'm inventing now called Everyone is Arnold. And we just read the script and everybody reads like Arnold. It's just we all have the same.
Wait, are you proposing that as a Gary's game?
I propose it as a
to do
requests
that.
only like script version of I feel like if we just did Everyone Was Arnold as a Gary's Games, it would just be all of us going for like 15 minutes. Arnold, what are you doing over there? Stop,
I feel like as soon as we have our Arnold voices, we don't want to take turns, It would just be a bunch of Arnolds talking at the same time.
Yeah, Arnold. That was Mr. Universe. Yeah.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. I was Conan.
All right, well, I think on that note, we can safely end the show.
We should all say goodbye as Arnold, though. We should close it out as...
All right. Okay, everybody, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching the show.
Thank you so much for coming and watching the show.
We need outro music.
We are so angry. We are angry.
I'll sing it for you.
Goodbye. Goodbye. See you next time.
The song will end the show.
I am sure we're going away for real very soon now.
We can kill it.
Someone should just cut it off before